talk now. The Los Angeles Lakers won the first ever NBA in-season tournament. They will, in fact, be raising a banner to commemorate this championship. So I know you're super excited about that. By the way, the Lakers are taking on the Dallas Mavericks tonight in Dallas. So that should be a fascinating game. Although I don't think Kyrie Irving is playing. So that's a little bit disappointing. But let's answer the question. What does this in-season tournament championship and MVP mean for LeBron's MVP or LeBron's legacy?
Okay, so this is the way I see it. Right now, obviously, it doesn't mean anything. But to LeBron, first of all, it means a lot because I think LeBron truly does believe that any time he has a chance to do something that Michael Jordan never got a chance to do, because we all know he's chasing that ghost up in Chicago. Whether you believe LeBron's the GOAT or not, everybody can acknowledge that that's what LeBron believes he is doing, is chasing Michael Jordan. That LeBron believes that what he can do outside of Michael, whatever MVP trophy he can win, whatever championship trophy he can win, regardless if it's in season or not, is going to help his legacy. And I said this on Brand's World today. In 30 or 40 years, when most of the generation that's seen Michael Jordan play, unfortunately, is no longer with us, there is going to be the new debate between LeBron, who will turn into the Michael Jordan of the next generation, and whoever you want to say, Nikola Jokic, Victor Wembanyama, etc., of who will be the GOAT of the next generation. And LeBron having this in-season tournament MVP down the line, if the in-season tournament actually becomes something, if they make something out of it, then it could, in theory, help his legacy. It's not going to happen right now, but I am saying, and again, me and you we didn't think much of the in-season tournament at all, and we still don't. But in 10 years, 20
You
years,
don't. I did.
in 10 years, 20 years, could it be something? Yes, it could.
Okay. You and I did not agree about the in-season tournament. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I
You're
thought
the one that said it didn't mean anything, though. We both agreed on that.
it doesn't have a lot of meaning. No, but I really enjoyed it, and I hope it comes back next season. Because a lot of the games came right down to the wire.
Uh, I'll,
Out
well,
outside of that stupid Pelicans Lakers game, which I'm sorry, Zion, you are out of shape. And to take the words right out of Stephen A. Smith's mouth, Zion Williamson, you are fat. You
okay,
are.
well, we're not copying other sports analysts on the show. We're going to have our own takes. Nonetheless, I do think the fact that the Lakers are putting up a banner shows me the NBA in-season tournament is not going away. This was not a one-year experiment. The NBA wants to make this in-season tournament a permanent staple of their schedule. Whether they move it to later in the year or not, we don't know. Whether they make changes to it, we don't know. But the NBA in-season tournament is here to stay.
Yes. It the one thing that bothers me about it is the fact that you would get a tournament game and then it's back to regular season games. Then you would get a tournament game and then it's back to regular season games. It was like I didn't love the on and off of it. But
I agree with that.
in terms of getting back to the actual question, okay, it does mean something for LeBron's legacy because you can only be the first for something one time. LeBron will always be the first MVP for the in-season tournament. The Lakers will always be the first in-season tournament champions. Do I think it helps LeBron's case to be the GOAT over Michael Jordan? No. No, I don't. In my opinion, Michael Jordan is the GOAT. And here is why. When you think of Michael Jordan, what team do you think of? The Chicago Bulls. I get it. Jordan came back and he played for the Washington Wizards, but nobody remembers that. When you think of LeBron, you think of the Cavaliers, you think of the Miami Heat, you think of the Lakers. You don't think of one team when
Uh,
you
See, and I counter that. I actually think that helps LeBron's case, and I've made that argument. That's what helped LeBron's case because LeBron became the first player in NBA history to win three different championships with three different organizations. That is something that I don't know if anybody in the history of the game will ever replicate.
To me, it hurts LeBron's legacy because it shows he was a team hopper. Because he went Cleveland, Miami, back to Cleveland. Now
Okay,
to
Jordan, it's not like free agency didn't exist. LeBron, it's not like LeBron, got traded or whatever. He specifically went there, and by the way, in all three cases, he was right to leave. All three cases, Miami or Cleveland was young, not surrounding him with talent. He needed to go to Miami to learn how to win. Goes back to Cleveland because Miami was an old and aging franchise, and we saw that in that Spurs series. Leaves Cleveland. Why? Because we're an old, aging franchise. And I thought he was going to leave the Lakers last year to potentially go to a younger team, maybe back to Cleveland, Philadelphia, somewhere else. Old, aging franchise, Anthony Davis, undependable. If LeBron, and we've talked about this a little bit, if he wins the real championship this year, it may be, outside of the 2016 championship, his greatest accomplishment with that roster that the Lakers have.
that's fair, but yeah, I know, I I know it kind of goes against what I said last week about Brady and the fact that him going to Tampa Bay and leading the Buccaneers to a Super Bowl is what convinced me that he was the GOAT. But even still, when you think of Brady, you think of the New England Patriots. So, in the same breath, it is kind of the
Well,
same
the
thing.
fact that Brady won a Super Bowl in Tampa, some people do think of him still as a Buck. It's not like he won't be remembered. Not like Jordan. Nobody remembers Jordan as a Wizard.
That's
People
my
will remember Brady's time in Tampa because not only did they win the Super Bowl, they had the next good year too.
right.
I
I get that.
obviously LeBron's argument will be longevity. I want to say one thing about the in-season tournament before we get to our last topic today. You know, I am not the biggest fan of All Star Weekend. I think I really think it's turned into a money grab for the NBA. I would not be opposed to the NBA turning the in-season tournament into All Star Weekend.
Hmm. Explain.
That week, that supposedly All Star week, instead of having All Star games and 3-point contests and yada yada, just do the in-season tournament.
Hmm. Okay. That's an interesting idea.
And you just have it like a round robin where it's like 2 or 3 days, right? You have 32 teams. You put them all into a bracket based off, maybe the current standings instead of last year's standings, which I think kind of screwed up the bracket a little bit this year because we all know teams change year to year.